knowledge. I hold the pentacle. I hold the pentacle. I hold the stability. I hold the richness, the truth, the wisdom. The lucky yellow golden star. I hold, I have, I possess, I show it all, show it all, show it all. My time, my time. So this owl represents, possess, I naturally possess it, I naturally have the strength, the ability, the wealth, the action, the foresight, the ability to know and see where it's at. The quest here is to be present and know where I'm shining it directly. But sometimes you won't know unless you search, unless you seek, unless you fly. And the opposite side of this card, solitude of hearing and feeling and sensing, receiving, is knowing when to rest and allow that pentacle, which is your wisdom, which is your riches, which is your stability, which is your foundation, which is your root chakra, your solar plexus chakra, to rest in one specific location. Allow it to be felt and absorbed. Allow the sun, allow the pentacle to be on you, within you, naturally, knowing that you are protected, and that your white light, that your golden light, that your orange light, that your creativity, your actions are protected, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It only gets recycled. Energy only gets recycled. So any illusion that you may have about anything being taken from you or experiencing lack, it is an illusion. And when you've been living in that illusion and that conditioning for so long, it becomes your comfort zone. And when it's your comfort zone, you can forget the truth. Spirit is saying here, the truth is that you are it, that you have it, that you naturally possess the riches, the stability, the foundation, the wealth, the opportunities, the good fortune, the blessing, the action, the mindset, the everything. And only you can hold it. Only you can hold it the way you hold it. Only you can hold it the way you. Only you can own it the way you. Hold it, you own it. You gotta flow with it and grow with it and show with it. Yeah, that's the intuitive version of it. And so let's get into the book meaning of this card. Let's get into it. Get into it. Drink some water. The pentacles in this card represents the power of flow. See, flow is something that I just sung. Okay, so pentacles are the earthly suit associated with flow and cycles. Each card in this suit refers to some aspect, the way things synchronize. This includes the beginning of cycles, the choices and priorities we make, engaging others to achieve great things, the consequences of not allowing resources to flow, the need to move on when we are no longer nourished, resources flowing to those who need them, watching resources grow and flourish, becoming masterful in our skills, organizing our lives to work for us, and understanding different perspectives in a complex situation. In This specific Bible tarot deck, pentacles are represented by a five-pointed star with an golden disc. The base pattern of the disc is a flower of light design. Spirals may play through on top of this. The border of the disc is made up of the double helix of DNA, the organizing principle of all living things. A horned moon symbol runs along the inner and outer parameters of the border. See, so this thing that's in you, as I was saying intuitively, it's in you, it's on you, but it's in you because it's a part of your DNA, which essentially it is in all people. We all have the potential for this as living beings to activate this DNA. The earthly golden tones, DNA, the horned moon and flower of life emphasize the linkage to the element earth. The background of each card in this suit is a golden yellow orange gradient. Aleph of Pentacles, and shall meet desert creatures. With jackals, the goat, he calls his fellow Lilith. Lilith, she rests and she finds rest. There she shall nest the great owl, and she lays eggs, and she hatches, and she gathers under her shadow. Hawks, kits, blitties, also they gather, everyone with its mate. Isaiah 34 is cited in Wikipedia from the Masoteric text. Imagery of keywords. Beginning of a cycle or flow. Synchronicity. Things coming together. Good luck. The owl flies through the night and seems to capture the pinnacle with its wings as the Alpha of Pentacles. The owl is associated with wisdom, but has also long been associated with Lilith and her night creatures. This card signals the beginning of a life cycle, of series of events. It can often indicate the prospect of sustaining yourself, such as a new job or role in life. So this is why it's important to read the book meaning sometimes, because each deck can have its own interpretation. So anyway, this is also a sign of good fortune, new beginnings. It's giving Ace of Pentacles energy, but it's valid. Okay, so thank you, Lilith. Thank you for this wisdom, for this insight. Things are coming together. Things are coming together. This new moon, in Taurus, for sure, which I believe is happening April 27th. Yes, it's gonna be powerful. Moving from Aries to Taurus is powerful. That pink full moon in Aries was everything. It was everything I needed. It was everything we needed. So let go and receive it. The new thing, the new blessing that's coming. You are so worthy, child. Just let it fly. Okay, so the King of Swords comes up. And this represents truth. This represents throat chakra energy. This goes going up, going for what you want, and not going up against it, but going with it, flowing, kind of like the Aleph Pentacles or Ace of Pentacles card came up and said. But this is the King of Swords, okay? So whatever project you may have had in mind, whatever new project you may have had in mind, for some of you who I feel like maybe entering into a new relationship or considering a relationship, albeit business, career, or even romantic, it's a yes. But you have to speak your truth. This time around, you have to speak your truth. This time, you have to have more structure. Whatever it is that you're creating, structure and routine will definitely help you gain your confidence and authority within an area, okay? This is also Libra-ish energy I'm seeing, if I'm not mistaken, with this card. Bear with me a moment. But it's funny because today is Venus Day, and the throat chakra is essentially, while I'm recording this, is essentially associated with the throat chakra, speaking up for ourselves. Okay. It's associated with being able to communicate effectively, being able to listen effectively, being able to create with your throat chakra effectively, okay? It's also about discipline, okay? It is also about discipline, which is something that comes up with the King of Swords card, okay? Conversation, okay? So the key words for the King of Swords is structure, routine, intelligence, rational, logic, power, authority, strength, manners, conversation, discerning, detached, cool, honesty, integrity, ethics, moral, being clinical, and stern. Yeah. So yes, this is also a Libra gold card, and whatever you've been wondering about, whatever inquiries you may have had, again, about starting something new, it will be best and wise to start it with a sense of structure, with a sense of authority, with a sense of also being detached, okay? Creating these things, knowing that you are building new structure, that you are building authority as you build structure, and using your logic while also being detached to do these things, okay? So logically speaking, if you want success as a content creator, you have to show up often. That's common sense, right? That's rational. That's also honest, okay? And it does require strength to align to structure, especially one that you've created or planned out or have co-worked with someone else to create. Okay, so as you're shining this new light, speak your truth. Speak your truth. Speak your truth in the way that you may have really needed it growing up, the way your inner child may have needed it growing up. And the card that I'm about to pull is going to reveal the energy we can work with to get that King of Swords aligned to our throat chakra energy. And also you can work with the King of Swords. The King of Swords this weekend. But really the Swords is also about your mental. Sometimes we don't speak up because our thoughts are not in harmony with our intention. So we have to get our thoughts in harmony with our intention. For example, if your intention, again, back to the content creator thing, your intention is to be a content creator, your thoughts have to align with that of a content creator. What does a content creator do? They create content, they post it almost every day, if not 2 to 3 times a day, so that their content can be visible and seen and understood by the algorithm with whatever platform they're using. And so if your thoughts are not aligned to that and your action is not aligned to that, then you may not experience the success. And so the heart that comes out from my Reiki deck is put heart in your work. Gu Hajime. Gu Hajime. Gu Hajime. Let's look this one up. Before I look it up, I'm going to intuitively read it. And so, put heart in your work. There is 2 open hands out. 2 open hands out. And there's a red heart in there. And when you put your heart in your work, you're also considering yourself. I mean, if not all of it, you are considering yourself, because people ultimately are just the impact of what you're vibrating off. And essentially people will also be connected and aligned to your message when you are operating on the same frequency. When people are not operating on the same frequency as you, or vice versa, it's going to be hard to understand the core message or the kind of intellect or conversation you're trying to throw down. So put heart into your work. Make it really heartful. Make it something that you can personally interpret and understand. Make it simplistic so that your inner child can understand it. The version of you that needed this structure, that needed this tough love, that needed this love, that needed whatever it needed. Put your heart into it, which also is crazy, because I think we can conceptualize things, over rationalize things, but that element of putting your heart into your work kind of allows you to be detached, because if you're doing it for a version of you or for someone you care about, there's a different tone, there's a different layer to it, okay? So let's look up this word. Let's look it up. Let's look up the book reading. That was my intuitive reading of it. I also feel my Dekunio. Emblem coming out. Okay, so the Gu Hajme card represents putting heart in your work. The key to happiness is to love who you are and what you do. There can be spirituality in any type of work. That's a fact. If you are happy with the type of work you are doing, keep doing it. If you are unhappy with your work or work environment, try to find work that will make you feel gratified. Life force energy spread. When using the LFES, please consider the following guidelines for the Gohu Hajime card. Touching the inquirer's card. On the right means the inquirer should put more heart into his work. On the left means the inquirer loves what he does. And it is on the left. Okay, period. From above means the inquirer is trying to find ways to either put more love into his work or change his situation. From below generally means the inquirer loves what he does, no matter what the occupation might be. Ooh, that's deep. Ooh, that hits different. I like the below one. Put heart into your work. Ooh. From below generally means the inquirer loves what he does, no matter what the occupation may be. And for me, being an entrepreneur, I don't typically fit under one title, you know. When I did do like one title jobs or roles, I would get easily burned out, and my mental health and my physical health would deplete. So I can't really do stuff like that, like just one title. And so I love that this card says that in whatever the inquirer does, he loves, and no matter what the occupation might be, he's going to love it. So yeah, like for me, when I was with my recent job, I was working for a nonprofit, but before that I was kind of like self-employed. I was a massage therapist educator and a massage therapist, but just kind of doing that kind of physical, energetic, spiritual labor was very tedious on my body, and it made me burn out quickly, and it wasn't something that I could sustain. And so I had to stop doing it and kind of lean onto my other outlets and means of healing, and energy channeling and energy healing and energy mediumship, because essentially as a massage therapist, that's what I was doing, you know, manipulating muscles and moving energy out of muscles, you know. Tension is a common one, stress is a common one. Those kinds of energies, when you're moving them out of muscles and manipulating muscles and creating flexibility and range of motion inside the muscles, it can be a tedious task. But when you're educated and you know what you're doing, it's helpful, but it still is tedious, because then it reminds you that you have to align as well. You have to release. You have to give yourself these same exercises when you get home, because if not, you're gonna internalize that energy. So there always has to be a cleanse and wash system, which can be tedious in itself. You know what I'm saying? But even with this kind of readings or tarot readings or oracle readings, anything like that, it's tedious as well, because you're feeling energy. But when it's personal, you just, like, this is personal. When it's personal, it is not as difficult to do. But the flip side of that is that any energy that you come in contact, it really is just a reflection of you. So as an energy worker, as a Reiki practitioner, I understand that it essentially is going to benefit me, but it is tedious work. So I love that this card says that when you love what you do, it doesn't matter what occupation you're doing. This card means that you love what you do, no matter what your job title is. And I feel like there has to be an element, there always will have to be an elements of moving energy, because with art, you're definitely moving energy, you're sharing all kinds of emotions, which is why I know that art has a therapeutic effect on it. You know, when the creator is doing art, creating art, no matter if it's like studio art or performing art, when the creator is involved in that, there is a cathartic kind of process that evolves, because you're putting your visions, you're putting your insights on paper, you're putting your visions, you're putting your insights on your body through dance, through movement, you're putting your insights, your visions, your thoughts through song. There's so many ways that you can channel what you love and what you feel through what you love, and vice versa. Touching this Reiki card means the inquirer is doing the primary occupation he incarnated to perform. Period. Touching the Tomi card means the inquirer is working on manifesting his abundance. Okay. Distance between the key cards and Go Hajime indicate work to be done to enable loving one's occupation. I turned it around and it was the Goho Maje. Not sure what that means, but I will look into that. Okay, so I feel all of this. Okay, Lilith is definitely getting into answering my question. You know what I'm saying? This is good stuff. All right. And then this card came out, and I like it. I didn't necessarily shuffle it, but this is from Abraham Hicks' Money and the Law of Attraction cards deck. And the first card that I saw, the 34, it really stood out to me. And it says, "My financial success does not require hard work." If you believe that you must work hard in order to deserve the money that comes to you, then money cannot come to you unless you do work hard. Financial success or any other kind of success does not require hard work. It does require alignment of thought. Again, it requires alignment of thought, which is what I talked about earlier. You simply cannot offer negative thought about things you desire and then make up for it with action or hard work. When you learn to direct your own thoughts, you will discover the true leverage of energy alignment. Yeah? So energy alignment. Alignment is key. And thoughts. Alignment of thought is the word here. Alignment of thought. If you feel like you have to work hard, you're going to have to work hard, because that's your thought. Your thinking processes. In order to have success, you have to work hard. But this is saying it's not requiring that thought or any kind of thought. All it is you aligning to your thoughts. So we have to be careful with what our thoughts are, what we're thinking. So instead of saying I have to work hard, I have to work, you can instead say I have to work in alignment with the vision of success that I have for my life. You know, that kind of verbal change, that verbal reaffirmation can help you align to that thought. So I think I'm gonna say that too. I feel like creating content was easier for me when I knew that I had something to share, and I wasn't gonna let my internal disassociation with the vision to kind of take me away from that. But then it becomes tricky when you allow external influences, external voices, frequencies, thoughts, etc., to deter you from your vision. That can become really dangerous, and that's why self-love is important. When you love yourself, you love your vision, you honor your vision, you honor your work, you honor the simple things that you do, you honor your life, you're grateful for whatever it is that you have. Okay, gratitude is also very important, and I think it goes hand in hand with definitely goes hand in hand with honoring self, with honoring life. We're all alive, so in a form we all are connected because we are alive. We may not come across the people that we want in life at times because we're not in alignment frequency wise with them, energy wise with them. And so Yeah. So let's recap this reading, huh? Let's recap this reading. I have read, I have heard, and I am grateful and thankful to Spirit, but let's recap it, okay? So flow is important. Flowing at this time is important. This is about flow. This is about allowing what you have asked for what you have intended previously in other moon cycles or recent manifestations, to allow it to flow by aligning your thoughts to it. So you can align your thoughts for what you have intended or what you have intended to manifest or what you desire to manifest by reviewing the version of you that has that thing and analyzing the thoughts that person has. Again, back to the content creator thing. What are the thoughts that version of you has? So you kind of have to timeline shift into the future. You have to visually, internally, psychically, mentally fast forward to that version of you and that timeline of you that has those things. Okay? Grasp onto that version of you and ask that version of you, what are the dominant thoughts that you are thinking right now that makes you successful? For me, it is flow. You may hear different things, okay? You may hear different things, but for me, it is flow. For me, it is, show me what you got, little mama. Show me what you got, bird lady. Hands up now, sway, sway. And then there's the owl, right? In and knowing that what you're creating, it deserves structure. It deserves manners from self. It deserves your power, which is the put heart in your work. That's where the Go Hajime card in, or Gu Hajime. I may be not saying that correctly, but Gu Hajime is the Reiki card that came up. And Spirit is saying to put your heart into your work. Open your hands and put your heart into your work. Be discerning of and when to share things and when not to share things that may be helpful to yourself and or to your audience or to whoever it is you're trying to outreach, albeit career, business, money, intimacy related. But for a lot of y'all, it is relationship stuff. Like intimate relationship stuff. Okay? It's important to be clinical and stern with yourself, kind of like that inner parent figure, that authoritative father figure, right? And if you did not grow up with a stern father figure, it's important for you to create that version of you internally and externally and allow that father figure to parent your inner child, which psychologically speaking is the subconscious version of you that still struggles with things like discipline, things like routine, things like structure. So this is a masculine card. The King of Swords is a masculine card, and it is about also getting your mindset right. When you get your mindset right, you get your thoughts right. When you get your thoughts right, you get your words right. You get your words right, you get your action right. And beliefs and etc. etc. There's no particular order in there. But yeah, it's important to get your thoughts right because success, especially financial success, is not about the hard work. It's about your alignment of thought. Esther Hicks here has shared in her card that if you believe you have to work hard, then that's the only way you will be able to get success. But if you shift your thought and you say, the version of me flows and does work because it's in alignment with this version of who I want to be, rather than I have to work hard. Rather than, no, I'm just aligning to the version of me that embodies this energy, that embodies this title, that embodies this role. So this card is questing for us to have a shift in alignment of thought. And the card also says and shares, my financial success does not require hard work. And these are things that, again, if you have more of a logistical mind, you may not be able to hear it the way that it's being interpreted or intended for you to hear it, because it questions the way that you think. It questions the way that you reason and logistically imply things around you. So yeah, overall, this reading is talking about our work, our thoughts, our energy that we put into our work, our thoughts, and success. Success is inevitable if you do direct your thoughts and allow your thoughts to flow in the direction in which you wholeheartedly intend for it to. Yeah? So be wholehearted in your intention. Be very clear. Make it come from the inner depths of your heart, of your emotions, of your strengths, of your weaknesses, of your testimonies, of your strengths, all that. And I like to thank Lilith. I like to thank the 7 yoni powers within me, God Almighty, the heavenly of heavenlies, the balance in between for assisting me in this reading. And I hope it has served you all as well. My site is down right now, but it will be back up for spiritual consultations. It will also be open and up for energy rebalancing consultations and initiations within the next few days. However, if you feel called to work further with me and would like to work further with me, find me on my other socials such as TikTok at the Yoni Botanica. And I do have my product shop open there where you can find custom handmade Reiki, potions, intention oils, and conjures, pretty much a 3-in-1 for different topics. And you can also find me on Instagram at the Yoni Botanica. And subscribe if you haven't already here at Own Your Magic on YouTube. Alright, well, happy new moon in Taurus. Until next time, peace.